welcome to today's online class. The subject is social studies and our topic for today is causes of common illnesses. Last week we discussed symptoms of common illnesses. Okay, so today we'll be starting by mentioning and explaining what the causes of common illnesses are. So the first one says, common illnesses can be caused by the following. I have 6 points here, but in your book you have more than that. But because of our time, I'll be explaining these 6 points. So you can pick up your book and read through the other ones. So the first one says, dirty, dusty, and polluted environment can make someone develop cough. Imagine staying in a dusty environment. Now, for instance, you stay in a place, or when the rain is about to fall and breeze starts blowing, wind, blowing dust, it could cause cough, especially if once we have inhaled too much of the dust, it might cause cough. Or if you stay in a place where that is being swept by the janitors. Once you're in a place that is dusty, you leave that environment, or even before sweeping, you advise whoever is sweeping to sprinkle water. Or if you're the one sweeping, you sprinkle water on that particular area before sweeping. So, dirty, dusty, and polluted environment can make someone develop cough, cold, and catarrh. It can also cause dysentery, diarrhea, and cholera. And this is because you have inhaled germs, you have inhaled dirty things. Okay, we have a picture here. Now look at this. These are dirty environments. Look at papers, pure water nylons, littered everywhere. Okay, so staying in this kind of polluted environment might cause dysentery, cholera, or diarrhea. So you must make sure you stay in a neat environment. Now, a person can also contact typhoid, diarrhea, and dysentery by drinking unclean water or by eating dirty food. We must make sure we drink clean water. We must make sure, if possible, we boil our water before drinking. We must avoid eating dirty food. Make sure you eat well-packaged food. When you see a plate that contains food looking dirty, looking stained, what do you expect from the food there? It means that the food in that particular plate is really dirty. It's contaminated already. When you eat dirty food, it means you are eating contaminated food. Germs are already in the food, and this can cause dysentery. This can cause diarrhea. It can make one to start vomiting or stooling. So we must avoid eating food in unwashed plates. Avoid drinking water in dirty cups. Make sure, don't say because you are too tired, you just pick up a dirty cup and a dirty plate, dish food into it, dish water into it, and drink. That could cause diarrhea. Then, stagnant water and dirty environment can attract and produce mosquitoes, which can lead to the spread of malaria. Now, some people live in areas where gutters surrounds them, and those gutters, now sometimes when you look into it, it contains black water, dirty water. Those waters have been there for a long time. They have become black and dirty. So those water are called stagnant water. The water in the gutter is called stagnant water. Then the water in the canal, most times we see canals when driving or passing through some places. Those water are called stagnant water because they have been there for a long time. They are contaminated. In fact, if one mistakenly falls into it, if you don't treat yourself properly, you might fall sick. So stagnant water can attract and produce mosquitoes. They also attract mosquitoes. Mosquitoes love to breed where there are stagnant water. Yes, they like to lay their eggs there. In fact, it's a very healthy place for mosquitoes. So we must avoid stagnant water. We must make sure that the gutters around our houses are properly covered with plywoods. We must make sure we sweep and clean our environment very well to avoid mosquitoes breeding. We must wash our plates, wash our cups, make sure our kitchen and the whole environment is kept clean. Then number 4, eating too much sweets and biscuits can lead to stomach upset, toothache and vomiting. A lot of people, a lot of pupils love eating sweets, chocolates, chewing gums, biscuits. Too much of this can cause stomach upsets. Ice creams. You discover that after eating a lot of this during the day, at night you begin to have runny stomach, or sometimes you might even develop a toothache. You have this terrible pain somewhere around your jaw that will not make you sleep well, will not make you eat well. It keeps hurting you so much. So we must avoid eating too much sweets, too much biscuits, ice cream, whatever contains sugar. We must avoid eating it. Then you may catch a cold if you expose yourself to cold weather. For instance, the weather is cold. This period is a very cold. This season, we are really this is a cold season. So we must make sure we cover our body. Do not wear armless clothes. This is the time to wear thick clothes that will cover your body very well to avoid you from catching cold. Okay? Then the 6th one, not washing our hands after using the toilet may cause some common illness. Yes, you have been taught this many times to wash your hands before eating and also wash your hands after eating. To wash your hands after using the toilet also. Many of us, because many of us, as soon as we come back from school, we just rush to the dining and eat our meal. We must make sure we wash our hands with soap and water, okay? Wash your hands with soap and water, especially when you come back from school or church or any place. Make sure you wash your hands with soap and water, and you can also clean it with wipe your hands with a very clean napkin. So we have other points in our book, but because of our time, we'll be explaining this, which I've actually done. So endeavor to read your books. Next week I'll be teaching you the prevention, how to prevent common illnesses. We can stay healthy, we can avoid going to the hospital, we can avoid diseases like cholera, dysentery, diarrhea, and so many others. We can avoid them if we follow the rules. Washing our hands, avoid eating dirty food, contaminated food, avoid drinking unclean water, avoid staying in polluted environments. If we can do all this, we will hardly go to the hospital for any illness. So next week we'll be talking about the prevention. Go through your books, treat the questions on the objective questions on the okay. Now page 67. Page 67 of your textbook, there are some objective questions there. Okay, so make sure you treat them, read your books, and follow the rules. Stay safe. Bye-bye.